this first look started off, I'm going to first begin with the crease going into the shade Riff, a mid-tone neutral brown, and I'm going to use a fluffy crease brush to make sure that's evenly blended starting in my outer corner and working it all the way to my inner corner, but really emphasizing that outer portion of my crease. Then going into a matte fuchsia called Hell Ride, I'm taking a smaller, more precise brush and placing that in the outer corner, really focusing it in the outer corner, but still blending it throughout the rest of my crease and my lower lash line. Then I go back in with that same fluffy crease brush from before just to make sure both of those are blended together. Then moving on to the purple, this is a shimmery mid-tone purple called Guilt Trip, and I'm taking a flat shader brush, starting again in that outer corner where I first put Hell Ride, but then I'm slowly working it in towards the middle of my lid. The last shade for my lid is going to be this deep copper called Accelerate, and I'm starting in my inner corner and blending that using that same flat shader brush into the purple that's on my lid. To finish off this look, I'm highlighting, first starting with my inner corner, going in with the shade Blaze, which in the pan looks like a pretty standard shimmery cream shade, but actually has a gorgeous pink iridescent shift to it. So I'm applying that to my inner corner and a little bit onto my lower lash line. And for my brow highlight, I'm going into the shade Breakaway, which is a light pink-leaning frosty shimmer. It pretty much looks on your skin as it does in the pan, no surprise there. I'm rounding the look off with some eyeliner. This is a mid-tone shimmery brown that I'm just applying to my waterline before I go in with a couple good coats of mascara. And that I'm applying to both my top and bottom lashes, obviously, for some extra drama. To polish off look number one, I'm going in with a lipstick. This again is from Urban Decay, actually part of the Born to Run collection, in the shade 66, which is a mid-tone dusty mauve. Because the eyes had kind of a soft feathered look, I wanted my lips to mirror that, and so I just took my finger to kind of feather out the edges so it was a little less sharp. So that's the first look finished. Let's move on to the next. This one is based in the bronzes and greens in this palette to create a pretty wearable but at the same time still a little smoky eye. First, I'm starting with a light matte peach. This is the shade Still Shot, and I'm using that same fluffy crease brush from before and pretty much the same technique from before, starting in my outer corner and working my way into the inner corner. Then I'm going into the shade Ignite, which is a shimmery mid-tone warm bronze. If warm's not your thing, I totally recommend you go into the shade right next door. It's Smog. It's a similar shimmery bronze, but just a little bit cooler if that's what you feel suits you best. For the outer corner, I'm using a deep shimmery emerald shade called Wonderlust and using the same flat shader brush I'd used before to pat that in my outer corner. Then I'll also go in with that same crease brush I was using before just to make sure all that is blended out. Then to make those two shades meet in the middle of my lid, I'm going in with Big Sky, which is a light, dusty, steely, grayish blue. Very complex, but it's actually a really pretty and complex color, and I'm just patting that in the center of my lid. For my inner corner highlight this time around, I'm going into the shade Stranded, which is this amazing golden champagne that's like blinding in how much it shines and shimmers. So gorgeous. Moving on to the lower lash line, I'm applying another Urban Decay liner. This is in the shade Overdrive, a nice deep emerald that matches the shade Wonderlust that I used from the palette, and I'm just applying that to my lower waterline. For the rest of my lower lash line, I'm just taking a combo of Wonderlust and Big Sky, those two shades I used on my lid, and running that, smudging that along my lower lash line. And of course, as with any eye look, to complete this one, I'm just going in with another few coats of mascara, both, again, to my top and bottom lashes. On the lips, I'm going with a slightly different route, a liquid lipstick this time. This one's from CoverGirl. It's one of their Melting Pout mattes, and it's in the shade Coral Chronicles. I always think this is not really, it's more like a light peach, I would say. To me, coral is a little bit more red and orange, but I love it either way. So that completes the second look. Let's go ahead and move on to our third and final. This one was actually inspired by, or really chosen by you guys on Instagram. You literally X'd out the shades you want to see, and this is the look that came from it. So to start, I'm going in with the shade Baja. This is a vibrant matte orange, using the same crease brush I have been using throughout the whole video. I am just running that once again through my crease, again, same as all these others, where I'm focusing that color to the outer corner. To start off my lower lash line, I'm taking, again, Baja, but then mixing it a little bit with Riff from that first tutorial and running that along my lower lash line, kind of leaving the inner half, I would say, of my lash line bare. The next shade is easily the one you guys asked for most. It's Radio, which is this beautiful, deep, but surprisingly vibrant blue shimmery shadow, and I figured I would do a little bit of a halo eye. So I'm first patting that in my outer corner, but then I'll also go in and pat it on my inner corner, and then slightly connect the two right across or through the crease. Now, a lot of you guys asked to see looks using these shades in more of an everyday wearable sort of sense, and I get that a halo eye this intense might not be in everyone's comfort zone, but I think you can totally pull it off in an everyday kind of look if instead of doing a halo eye, you take that same shade Radio and even the same shade Baja, but lessen the intensity and just keep Radio to the outer corner. Pair that with one of the lightest shimmery shades in this palette that you pop in the inner half of your lid or just the rest of your lid, and I think it would be a really wearable look. Speaking of those lighter shimmery shadows, I'm going in with Stranded again, but this time I really want it to pop, so I'm using my finger to pat that on the center of my lid and then going back and forth between that brush and my finger to just help blend that shade into the surrounding blue. Then using the detailed brush from before, I'm popping that in my inner corner as well. Now moving on to liner, you guys. This liner is so pigmented and so soft. How soft? Yeah. Is that soft? It's an amazing pencil that I think complements the look so well, but just be careful. Have a gentle hand, you know what I'm saying? Now, of course, I applied mascara, but I figured no need to show that a third time for this video. I'm moving on to the lips. This is one of the L'Oreal Coloris Shine lipsticks in the shade Glossy Fawn. And I just gave my lips a good coat of it. It's pretty simple. That is it for the third and final look. I really hope you guys enjoyed this video. Let me know which look is your favorite, and definitely don't forget to send me pictures if you guys decide to recreate it yourself. Please don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already, and I will catch you in the next video. Bye guys!